All right, we're gonna start in my living room. Um, this is a southwest facing window, so gets a lot of good sun here, hence all the plants. This is my fiddle leaf fig. I've had it for 3 years. A lot of people say it's unforgiving, temperamental, just overall hard to take care of, but that really hasn't been the case for me. I don't do much to it. When the weather's nice, I take it outside and give it a good soak with rainwater. I have rain barrels outside. Um, Other than that, just give it good bright light. I water it every now and then inside during the winter. Uh, I'll give it leftover coffee, just black coffee, whatever I don't finish, I'll dump it in there. I don't dilute it really. I just kind of pour it in. No sugar, no creamer, because that'll be bad for your plants, obviously. Um, yeah, in the winter during Christmas, we put Christmas lights on it, and I think it looks awesome. I'll insert a little clip here. So yeah, moving on. This here is my favorite plant. All right, I brought you guys in for a closer look at the Ficus triangularis variegata. Joining us is Arlo. He's our 3.5-year-old Australian Shepherd Pomeranian mix. He's a good boy. Um, but yeah, I've had this plant for like 3 years also. Um, I keep it inside. It does defoliate often, and I guess that's because it's a ficus, so it's in the fig family. Um, and I think it wants to focus all its energy on those figs, so it'll drop its leaves just to have to work less. Yeah, but I love it. I think it's a high impact plant, especially whenever the sun is shining on it. It kind of illuminates everything with the variegation. It's an awesome plant, one of my favorites. All right, I brought the little plant table out just so we can get a better view of all the plants. Um, I guess I'll start with this one. This is my Thai, not sure how to pronounce it, Constellation Monstera. I picked it up recently for 20 bucks, and after doing some digging around, I guess it's a good price, so happy about that. It's kind of like the Monstera Albo, which is way more popular, and the only difference is this has creamy variegation, and not like straight white like the Albo does. But I'm pretty excited about this plant because as leaves mature, they kind of get these, I guess, there's a name for it, but I can't think of it right now, but they're like serrated edges where it gets a cut in there and they grow like that naturally. And it looks pretty sick, so they get huge, so I'm pretty sure in the future I'll have to move it. But luckily, we have some other rooms that aren't quite furnished yet, and it'll find its home somewhere over there. So excited about that. Next is a pink princess philodendron. I've never had one of these. They're pretty sick, in my opinion. I know they were like all the rage a couple years ago. People were paying absurd prices for them. But I got this one for 20 bucks, I think, at Green Acres Nursery. So yeah, pretty excited about this one also. I have it in this super bright area. Hopefully I can get some more pink variegation out of it. We'll see what happens. Oh man. I forgot the name of this plant, but I'll put it in the screen somewhere here. But yeah, I like the leaves on this thing. It looks like a little tropical tree. So my plan for it is to tree form it. As it grows, I'll get rid of a couple of these low-hanging branches and expose the trunk some more. And just have a nice little tree form plant somewhere. Um, I have it in this terracotta pot because I don't have a pot that I like for it right now. I don't use terracotta that much unless a plant is like prone to root rot. I do use them a lot outside. I'm an avid outside gardener and I have tons of terracotta pots. So yeah, that's it for this plant. Next is this maidenhair fern. It doesn't look too good. I have it in this little chinoiserie pot that my fiance picked out. I originally had another one in hand, but she was like, look at the mountain, so I grabbed it. No matter what I do to this plant, it doesn't look good. I don't know why. It's a little dry right now, that might be why. But it's just not a good plant for me. It was a larger plant, and I kind of ripped it in half and put one in another pot in another room, which we'll see in a bit. but I don't know if that has anything to do with it, but it can look better for sure. While we're here, I have another little China osprey pot with I guess a common fern. Not sure what it's called, but there's some new growth. If you can see that there, some new growth. So I'm guessing it's like in this spot. I have it on our mantle above our fireplace, getting some sun. I know off to the side. So yeah, I like that a lot. That plant. I guess while I'm here, also I have another fatal leaf fig. If you can't tell, I love ficus. They're my favorite plants. You can never go wrong with having too many fiddle leaf figs. This one has new growth, so I like this spot there also. And yeah, I tried to originally shape this trunk, make it a curvy trunk. I'll insert a little example of what I saw that I was trying to replicate, but it just reverted back to its original trunk shape. So yeah, back here is my olive tree. I picked up this little olive tree at a Kroger. I think it was like $9.99 or something, super cheap, but it was tiny. It was literally like maybe this branch or something. But I've had it for about 2 years. I kept it outside the first summer, and it took off. Olive trees love heat. I don't know where they're native to, but we're in Texas, so we get a lot of heat. And I had this thing outside, full sun in the summer in a pot, and it thrived. It really took off. I'm gonna try and keep it indoors this summer. Also, it did well last time. It did have some leaf drop, as you can see. Got some right here. But hopefully keeping it in this bright spot, I can get it to take off. And I will tree form this one also and have another indoor tree. We're at my coffee table, and this spot is about 6 to 8 feet away from that bright window we just saw. So it's a good spot for some low light plants. This is not really a low light plant, but it's doing well here. As you can see, it gets some bright light whenever the sun is setting. First, we have a little fern. I'm not sure the name of this one, but I was attracted to the fact that it's not dark green like most ferns. It's a neon green, almost chartreuse color. Um, and I have it in another little China osprey pot. This is a special little plant pot combination to us. We got it from the Dallas Arboretum. It has these little scalloped edges. I think it looks awesome. And we bought it the day that I proposed to my fiance. It was her idea to get a little pot as a memory. And that same day, we went to our local Callaway's and got this cactus plant. It's a Thanksgiving cactus, so it'll bloom right around that time. So it's a good memory for us. You know, every time we see it bloom, we'll think of that day. While I'm here, I thought I might as well show you these orchids. They're off to the side here on a little side table we have, but they belong to my fiance. She makes me do all the work. I don't know if I'm doing good or not. I don't know if anybody in the comments can tell me what I'm doing wrong or why these leaves are kind of not perky. This one's kind of folded up. She ripped these leaves off because it had some black spots, and she had to cut them off. So she ripped them off. And yeah, don't know what I'm doing. All right, now we're in our library or reading nook, whatever you want to call it. It's an east-facing room, so it's a little dark right now compared to the southwest-facing area living room. Gets a lot of bright morning light, and I have here a Ficus moclane or moclame. I'm not sure how to pronounce it, but it's another uncommon plant that I have not seen. When I bought this one, it was the first time I've ever heard of this plant, so immediately grabbed it. Originally I had it in this blue pot, but I thought it was too small for the size of this plant and the top, so I grabbed this one, and I think it really contributes to the lengthiness of it. And it has this braided trunk, which is really cool, and I just like the shape of the leaf. It's really really simple. Oh my god. Next to it, we have a Ficus teneki elastica. This is its latest leaf that it put out, and yeah, I have this one propped up on this little stool just to add some height to it, and did the same with this one. welcome to our coffee table. A lot going on here. I guess I'll start with this little sad thing. This is a Ficus benjamina that I actually got from Kroger, believe it or not. It didn't look like this. It was part of a much bigger Ficus benjamina that I still have. But when I went to repot it originally, I noticed that there was like multiple suckers or multiple plants stuck into one pot, not sure, but I was able to separate this from the others, and it's the only single trunk. So hopefully in the future I can shape it and get a nice S-shaped tree form ficus, or just a cool little abstract looking plant. Yeah. Next we have a pothos, and this was actually a single rooted cutting from my aunt's plant, and she gifted me a cutting. I planted it, it immediately took off, and since then I've had it for about like a year and a half, 2 years maybe. Since then I've been cutting it, rooting it, sticking it back in here to fill it out, and I think I'm done propagating it, so hopefully I'll let it cascade and give it a chance to fill this area. And then here I have two more of the fiance's orchids. These look a lot healthier, so yeah, I'll update you guys on the progress on that. Here is where I have the other little half of that sad maidenhair fern I have in the living room. It's in our library. It's morning sun in this spot. I would say it looks a little better than the one over there. Not sure. But down here is a pot that was gifted to me by my sister. So shout out to her. I had a plant in there, but I'll find the right one to put in this pot. We're in our guest restroom. It's south facing, ton of light. With it being a guest restroom, we do shower in here sometimes, so it gets real humid and the plants benefit from that. So it's a good spot to grow some plants, or even like if you're trying to bring some plants back to life or nurse them just to be healthier, it's a good spot for them. So I think this thing is gone. It's a rosemary plant. I failed with that one. These are part of the Ficus benjamina that I showed you in the library. And it was one big plant. I split them into two, and I just have them here so they can get bushy, grow out, and I'll put them in their permanent spots once we get some of these rooms figured out. I got some propagations going in here. I'll talk about those in another video. This, I think, is just a common jade plant. I have it in a super well draining mix. The water, literally as soon as you water, it just starts to flow out. So, and has a ton of new growth on there, you could see. So it likes this spot. It's a really healthy little plant, and I love the way it looks. This is a plant, actually a cutting from my aunt's garden in Mexico. My parents went recently and they brought this back for me, and I'll insert a picture of what it looks like and the parent plant, so you can see what this will be in the future. I plan to keep it in a pot outside because they have it in full sun in Mexico, so should be fine. Yeah, alright. Before I end the video there, I do have these two new plant pickups that didn't make the video because I need to repot them and find their homes. So I'll make another video on the repotting process and their placements, and I'll show you guys where I put them then. I also have another plant coming. It's a snowbush plant, I believe. I'll show a picture here, and hopefully it's here in time so I can repot them all together and do a video on that for you guys. Thanks for watching.